The first debate between President Donald Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden deteriorated into bitter taunts and near chaos last night. Between the constant interruptions and personal attacks, those who were undecided on a candidate may still be on the fence. Here's a little sample.
He does take advantage of the tax cut. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts, and I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator.
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just tell you, Joe. I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe.
Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Executive Director Brian Ruddle and Ed Espinoza, Executive Director of Progress Texas. Ed, starting with you, President Trump and former Vice President Biden spent most of the night interrupting each other. What did you make of the debate?
First of all, I disagree that they spent the night just interrupting each other. I think that Trump interrupted Biden incessantly. And in fact, the clip we just showed was Trump interrupting Biden. Well, I've seen presidential debates for 8 presidential cycles now. This is one of the worst. This is the worst I've ever seen. This wasn't a debate. There was nothing dignified about this. There was nothing distinguished about it. What you saw was behavior from the president that was rude and boorish and really demonstrated the type of chaos that women, independent voters, and suburban voters are really just tired of right now. And it was on full display. And I guarantee that the viewing audience, the beginning of that debate was much smaller than at the end of that debate.
Brian Ruddle, what did you make of this debate?
Obviously, it was not a great debate. I don't think that either of us can sugarcoat that. I think that the next debate, which is a town hall style, I think will be a little bit better for President Trump. I think that not having an audience in the debate room really kind of, handicapped President Trump to an extent. He plays very well in front of a crowd. The next debate is going to be a town hall style where the candidates will be able to directly engage with voters to a greater extent, which I think will naturally help combat some of the over-talking.
Ed Espinoza, do you think last night's performance will change any minds as far as voters are concerned?
Yeah, I think it might have. Normally I think presidential debates may not do a whole lot of that, but in a race where you have 6 states, including Texas, that are within 1 point in the polls, a performance like that can make a difference. And look, in the next debate, Donald Trump is not going to change. The Presidential Debate Commission can make changes to the rules. They can try to make things a little different. The man himself is not going to be any different. He had gaffes last night on racism. It's telling white supremacists that they need to stand back and stand by. Huge blunder of historic proportions. And then his other gaffe of attacking Biden's children. These were 2 mistakes that are going to be very difficult for him to recover from, no matter what the circumstance moving forward.
Brian, who made the biggest mistakes last night, you think?
Obviously, I think that the moderation for the debate was not very strong. I think that Christopher Wallace was not really able to keep a handle on both of the candidates. That's something that you really need to look for in a moderator, somebody who has just the wherewithal to make sure that the candidates are not speaking over each other. Look, I think that President Trump can do a lot better. I think that's great news going forward for the Republican Party. I think if President Trump focuses on the incredible economic gains we've seen under his administration, the dramatic growth in business ownership by women, and minorities. I think that that's the story we want to bring forward. Bring forward the story of, who do we want to help manage this economic recovery? Do we want to have another Obama recovery, or do we want to really put President Trump back in charge, help him lead the U.S. economy into the next generation?
Ed Espinoza, are you confident there's going to be another debate?
It's a good question, right? Because the way we saw it melt down last night, I'm not even sure that the moderator wanted to be there after a while. But, there might be another debate. And the fact that it's even in question, it speaks to how unusual the times that we're in right now. I do think there will be one, but I also think that it's not a certainty that there will be one. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.